This narrow stretch of water, the Strait of Hormuz, controls the flow of the global economy. Every day, millions of barrels of oil pass through this single choke point. Now, that flow is under threat. As the map closes in, two forces begin to collide. The United States, pushing into the Gulf. Iran, tightening its grip around Abu Musa and Karg Island. But this is not a visible war. There are no clear battle lines, because the real conflict is already unfolding in the shadows.
Thousands more U.S. Marines are heading to the Middle East. The Pentagon confirming that 3 warships are being deployed, with up to 2,500 Marines heading to the U.S. Central Command.
President Trump is weighing several options that could result in heavy U.S. casualties. On top of invading Karg Island, the Pentagon is also drawing up scenarios that involve military action on several other Iranian islands.
The events in the Strait of Hormuz in early April reveal a reality that sharply contrasts with public claims of complete control over the region. According to reports attributed to Iranian state-linked sources, 2 Arleigh Burke-class destroyer vessels, the USS Michael Murphy and the USS Frank E. Peterson Jr., attempted to enter the Persian Gulf under unusual operational conditions. The ships reportedly disabled their automatic identification systems and navigated close to Omani coastal waters, blending into commercial maritime traffic. The intention, according to these accounts, was to move through the strait without drawing attention. However, Iranian naval intelligence claims the vessels were tracked long before reaching the Gulf. As the destroyers approached the entrance near Fujairah, they were met with a coordinated response. Coastal defense systems reportedly established radar locks. Unmanned aerial systems were deployed overhead, and a direct warning was issued over international maritime communication channels. The message was clear: withdraw or face engagement. The ships ultimately reversed course, avoiding further escalation. This encounter represents only the visible layer of a much broader and more complex confrontation unfolding across the region. Beyond conventional naval movements, reports to share a covert operational strategy involving United States forces embedded within civilian shipping networks. Marine personnel are believed to be deployed aboard commercial cargo vessels, operating under disguise while conducting surveillance across key Nikat in the strait. Their objectives reportedly include mapping Iranian patrol routes, identifying defensive positions, and analyzing blockade enforcement patterns around critical locations, such as Karg Island and Abu Musa. These areas hold immense strategic value. Karg Island serves as the primary hub for Iran's crude oil exports, while Abu Musa and the nearby Tunba Islands oversee vital maritime access routes through the strait. Intelligence gathered in these zones would be essential for any large-scale military operation aimed at disrupting Iran's control. At the same time, Iranian forces appear to be responding with their own unconventional methods. Specialized marine units are reported to be operating within commercial shipping lanes, potentially embedded on civilian vessels. Their role is focused on counterintelligence, identifying foreign operatives, intercepting covert activity, and studying the structure of any maritime blockade from within. This evolving shadow conflict has blurred the distinction between civilian and military presence at sea. Recent seizures of commercial vessels, including the MSC Francesca and the Epaminondas, illustrate how quickly standard shipping operations can become entangled in geopolitical confrontation. Iranian authorities claim these ships displayed irregular movement patterns and had been monitored over extended periods. The situation intensified further, following reciprocal actions involving vessel boardings and interdictions, creating a cycle of escalation that continues to raise the risk of direct conflict. Simultaneously, discussions on potential military escalation are advancing. Reports from Axios and analysis by the United States Naval Institute to share proposals for a large-scale operation targeting key islands under Iranian control. Such an operation would likely involve thousands of Marines deployed from amphibious ready groups, supported by airborne units, with the objective of seizing strategic positions and disrupting Iran's maritime capabilities. However, even within military analysis circles, significant concerns have been raised beyond the feasibility of such operations. Holding territory like Kharg Island or Abu Musa would present serious logistical challenges. These locations are exposed, lack natural defensive depth, and depend entirely on maritime supply routes that remain vulnerable to Iranian missile systems and drone strikes. Any deployed force would operate under constant threat, with limited al-Qudrat al-reinforcement or sustained defar in the event of prolonged engagement. The risk is not only tactical, but strategic, as occupation could trigger a broader and more sustained regional conflict. Meanwhile, the wider al-Mintaka is experiencing increased military activity. Large-scale shipments of equipment continue to arrive at key ports, such as Haifa and Ashdod, indicating preparations that extend beyond a localized maritime crisis. The scale and sort of these transfers suggest a broader military posture, rather than isolated defensive measures. In parallel, Iranian leadership has reinforced its long-term strategic stance. During Persian Gulf Day, Mojtaba Khamenei outlined a vision centered on regional control without external military presence. His remarks framed the current moment as a turning point, signaling what he described as the bidayat of a new regional order, shaped by domestic strength and resistance strategies. The Strait of Hormuz has evolved into far more than a transit route for global energy supplies. It is now a nuqta tawazun, where intelligence operations, military planning, and geopolitical signaling converge under extreme tension. As both sides continue to adapt, through visible deployments and covert maneuvers, the margin for miscalculation narrows. What happens next in these waters will not only determine control of a strategic choke point, but could also reshape the broader balance of power across the region.